I stopped consuming ground raised meat.
Yeah.
I still, however, consume milk, dairy products, eggs,
Dairy and eggs. So you're a vegetarian?
pescatarian,
Pescatarian. And sea animals.
sea animals,
Yeah.
fish.
And so can I ask why you stopped consuming?
I did for environmental reasons,
Sure.
but right.
So you're aware of the environmental impact that it has.
Yes.
What about what these animals go through? Do you guys care about that at all?
I do.
Yeah.
I would ask, is this the practice? You said the practice everywhere.
Yes.
Is the practice everywhere? Every farm, every.
So obviously these are factory farms, right?
Right,
So
right. So intense.
98% of all the animal products that you buy from the supermarket or at the restaurant comes from these
98.
facilities, 98. And the 2% that could be, free range or family-owned farms, smaller farms, they do treat the animals a little bit differently, but at the end they send them to the same slaughterhouses. So the animal gets to have maybe a better life, but at the end they go to the same place. And that's why we're not here to ask for better treatment for them, we just want this to stop.
Yeah.
So we're showing people what happens to animals, not because we have an issue with the treatment, but the fact that these animals are being exploited. So have you guys ever thought about being vegan?
Yes.
You have?
Hello. I have.
Do you have any objections?
No.
So why aren't you vegan?
It's not. I think I became vegetarian or pescatarian from one day to the other, so I can't say it's that hard because I don't miss
So
it.
today you decided and that was it?
Yeah. I think for dairy might be a little harder.
What kind of dairy products exactly?
Like yogurt, eggs, not even milk per se.
Yeah. And is that because you like the taste of it, or do you think you need it for nutrition?
No, I know that. I mean, except for vitamin B12, which is the only essential nutrient that you can't synthesize from plants, I think. Everything else you can get from
Are you sure about that?
B12. I think there is, you need to consume a lot more, I don't know what products.
So I'll tell you something. These animals are injected with B12.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So people that eat animal products for the B12 can just go directly to the pharmacy and get
Right, you can get B12 supplements. Right,
supplements. So they don't have to filter it through their bodies.
Right, no, but
Yeah.
again, I don't eat
No,
meat.
because a lot of people think that
No.
that's the case. A lot of the dairy products or
But B12 is found naturally in red meat, nonetheless.
but we produce it as well. It's very easy. You can get an injection or you can get the drops. I personally get it every 3 to 6 months. I'll just inject myself with B12.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's the only supplement. But again, I know plenty of meat eaters or people that consume dairy that still need the supplements.
Oh really?
So that's not the best excuse for continuing to eat animal products.
Would you say that these animals would do the same or would have the same life for dairy purposes? Or like for dairy purposes?
Do you know much about the dairy industry?
Well, no, not really.
So the dairy industry is just as bad as the meat industry, dairy and egg. So what happens in the dairy industry is, for the cows to be able to have milk, obviously they have to be pregnant.
Right.
And they're not just naturally having sex.
They get impregnated, yeah.
That's right. So they're basically raped.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they give birth, they take the baby away from the mom because they want to use the milk. And the baby is sent to slaughterhouses, which is veal, the baby calf, if they're a boy because they can't produce milk again. So that's what you're supporting when you're consuming dairy. So even though you're not eating the meat, you're still supporting the slaughter. And again, in the egg industry is the same. So when the chicks are born, if they're male, because they can't lay eggs, they want to get rid of them. And the most common way to do that is to put them in a big macerator when they're 1 day old. So they're little chicks going in and they come out like mince meat basically. And sometimes they use that, sometimes that's just waste. And again, that's standard practice in all farms, free range, organic, all of that.
Right. The
Yeah.
slot, because they all go to the same slot.
Yeah.
I will say that I don't consume that much dairy or eggs every day. Like my standard diet is salmon salad, lunch and dinner. In the morning, I drink soy milk protein shake. I will eat ice cream on the weekends every now and then. I'll eat eggs when my girlfriend makes for me. I don't eat meat again. And I'll have pastries.
Sure.
But I tend not to eat as much of this. I do.
Sure. But the reason why you're mindful of not consuming too much, is it for health reasons or environmental reasons, or is it because you feel bad for these animals and you think this is wrong?
Environmental reasons.
Well-
Not even health.
Okay, so just environmental. What about when it comes to ethics?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
So do you understand that even though you're consuming a little bit of these products, these animals are still going through hell for that little bit of egg that you might have, or salmon, or whatever it might be? So as an
Right.
individual, you get to vote, right, with your money. So every time you support these products, you're creating demand for it.
No, I understand. Which is why I don't eat
Yeah, that's right.
meat to decrease. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but when it comes to dairy and egg, you still haven't, made that connection.
I just haven't implemented
Sure.
fully.
So do you think you will do that?
I do. I think I will,
Yeah.
and I've certainly intended to do that.
Awesome.
I just haven't.
Yeah,
done it.
sure. But do you think after seeing us here today, and I can give you a card if you want to look into it a bit more, do you think this will push you towards that decision a little bit more?
Yes.
And also, because when you go vegan, you're not actually doing anything special. We're just not participating in this. What we really need to do is to speak up for them. And we need to educate others. And that's why we're all here. So when you go vegan, if you want to come join us, you're more than welcome. Or if you can find a way to speak up and educate others, you're passionate about the environment as well. So it's just really important for us to spread the message.
Right.
Because most people don't know about this. I mean, you are aware of some stuff, the environmental impact and stuff like that, but a lot of people haven't even seen this kind of footage. So when we show it to them, they're shocked.
It is very shocking.
Yeah.
Even when you see it the second time or third time.
Yeah, that's right. Can I just point out a couple of things on that card?
Yep.
If you're going to commit to just doing one thing, I highly recommend watching that half-an-hour speech. It's really powerful. I really recommend watching it.
Okay.
And when you do decide that you want to be vegan, that link there, Vegan22, that is a support system for vegans, new vegans. It's all free. You sign up and they will answer any question you might have about nutrition. They can send you recipes, whatever it is that you need in the first few weeks of being vegan. So you've got their full support.
I think it can be hard to stick with it though. Like I travel for work.
Yeah.
And, like you have clients dinners and you have stuff like
I
that.
travel
It's
for
like-
work. I
yeah.
travel all the time.
Yeah. You have to plan a lot ahead, right? Like you can't just show up at the airport and be like, oh, I'm vegan.
You can always get food at the airport.
Yeah.
Always.
I guess I think it's a lot easier if you plan ahead. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. It's always easier, especially if you want to eat, healthy. You might not be able to always get healthy options, but honestly, there's no excuse. If you are convinced that this is wrong and you don't want to support it, it's really easy. I travel all the time. I haven't been back home since Christmas last year. We're all vegan in our heart. It's just the conditioning. Since we're a kid, we're always told that we do need to consume animal products,
Oh.
and there's certain things that, we're...
I mean, I read a great article about how Aristotle was the first, or at least in literature, was the first person to preach
Yeah.
not eating animal meat or animal products,
Yeah.
just eating vegetable and earth.
plants, basically.
Plants.
Yeah.
So it's a very old concept, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's definitely nothing hippie or
No,
20th century.
that's right. I hate it when people try to link it to, being a hippie, being a
No,
hippie
no,
vegan.
it's not.
Yeah.
Actually, he described it as being virtuous.
That's right. Veganism is a matter of justice. So if you think this is wrong, do you want to support it? What are you going to do about it? And when it comes to other injustices, You know, we're usually different. You're not going to be, you know, 90% pro-gay rights or anything like that. You either support it or you're against it. When it comes to veganism, because we've been doing it for so long and we're conditioned heavily, people are usually defensive. It's just very hard for them to change, and I can understand that. But it really comes down to whether you want to do the right thing for these animals or not. It's that simple. And I do understand that it can be difficult, especially at the start, because you're wondering, oh, what am I going to do? I'm going to starve. But you're never going to starve. And the food aspect is just one aspect of it. I mean, there are other aspects like clothing. We don't wear anything that comes from an animal skin. Products that are tested on animals, we don't support them. We don't support zoos.
You wouldn't even wear like wool?
No.
No?
No. You could just get, you know, synthetic stuff that feel like wool and
Is there something bad about wool? In terms of like how the sheep are treated, or?
Yeah, the way that they're treated. Well, it's the fact that they are looked at as, you know, commodity. So they're basically objects. We're just keeping them there so that we can take something from them. And the whole process is.
But are they mistreated? Like
They are,
these
yeah.
people, these
Yeah,
animals?
they basically take chunks of their skin. They're not going to take their time one by one, doing it slowly. They don't care because it's just about the money for them. So, same with leather, fur, everything.
Yeah,
Right,
that
leather.
obviously, yeah,
Yeah.
You're skinning an animal, right? Yeah.
That's right. That's easier. Some aspects of it is easier for us to grasp on. For me, I actually watched a fur footage. That's how I went vegan. Animals being skinned alive, foxes, and they're my favorite animals. They're so beautiful, and they were just being skinned alive. So for me, it was that easy to get that we don't need to be doing this to them. And then I realized, well, when I'm eating them or what comes out of their bodies, I'm basically doing the same because I don't need to.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for your time. It was really nice to talk to you both.
Thank you for everything.